Ja. 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 Ja.
Kibalans like that falls.
Végezte, genyó! Ja. A pokolban végzett. Ja. Ja.
Kitekerem a nyakat, te nyomoronc!
Ja. Ja.
Tudod, hogy fog végződni? Kibalans like that falls.
Ja. 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 No gyere te, Gani!
Megöllek, te büdös!
Ja.
Végezte, genyó!
Ja. 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 A pokolban végzett. Ja. Ja. Ja.
Hát ez rövid lesz.
Ja. 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 Ja.
Was that?
Most végre!
Ja.
Megöllek, te büdös!
Ja.
Hey!
Tudod, hogy fog végződni? Ja. Ja.
Kivelezlek, te fasz!
Ja.
Eltaposlak, mint egy tetvet!
Ja.
Yeah.
Ja. Kibaszok veled! Ja.
Micsoda?
Kivelezlek, te fasz!
Eltaposlak, mint egy tetvet! Kitekerem a nyakat, te nyomoronc!
Végeztek, genyó!
Megöllek, te büdös!
Kivelezlek, te fasz!
Most véged!
Left. Hamburg is to the left, along the stream.
Megdög lesz! Kapsz egyet! Hát ez rövid lesz! Megöllek! Egy büdös!
Kitekerem a nyakad, te nyomoron!
Left. Hamburg is to the left, along the stream.
Kivelezlek, te fasz!
A pokolban végzed!
Left. Hamburg is to the left, along the stream.
Véges, te genyó!
Szétszabdallak, te fostalicska!
Most véged!
Kapsz egyet?
Na gyere te, Gani! Tekerem a nyakat, te nyomoront!
Megöllek, te
Kivelezlek, te fasz!
Left. Hamburg is to the left, along the stream.
Warn the others! They've tore its scallops! Tudod, hogy fog végződni?
Kivelezlek, te fasz!
Eltaposlak, mint egy teppet!
Megdög lesz!
Kitekerem a nyakat, te nyomoront!
Véget, te genyó!
Flee!
Christ!
Most véget!
Hát ez rövid lesz!
Eltaposlak, mint egy
Kill you all! Véget, te genyó!
Megöllek, te büdös!
A pokolban végzett!
Nyírt ki a francba! Ja! 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 Oh my God! Wait!
Jesus Christ!
Érje már ki valaki!
Help! Scallops has been attacked! Do something! Help!
Quickly, everyone! Get your asses here!
Hey! And loose!
Vigyázz! Vigyázz!
Hagyjuk! Húzzunk innen!
They're turning tail! Quickly! We're closing the gate!
Someone give him a drink. And bring hot wine and bandages. Tell me, boy, who are you and where are you from? What in hell's name happened?
I've come from Skalitz. They burned it to the ground. Slaughtered everyone.
Who? Who burned it to the
A
ground?
huge army. They attacked without warning. And they weren't Czechs or Germans either.
Who then?
I don't know. I've never seen armor like it or heard their language. Maybe Tatars?
Tartars, you say? Yeah. Well, we'll deal with that later. First, let's have a look at that leg of yours.
Who is that?
I don't know.
Grit your teeth, boy. I'm gonna pull that arrow out. Easy. All done. You were lucky, lad. The arrow missed the bone. It only needed bandaging, and I've done that often enough before. War is a good teacher. Can you stand? There you go. Good as new.
Thank you.
If you idlers nothing better to do, get back to work. You'll have to speak to Lord Divish. Can you manage? Sir, this is a survivor from...
I heard, Robard. Tell me, boy, what exactly happened? Did you see the ensigns of the attackers? And were there any more survivors?
So, I don't know what army it was, but it was huge. There were dozens of banners flying on the hill above Skalitz. The ones who did the slaughtering spoke a strange language. They burned Skalitz to the ground. But a lot of people took refuge in the castle. I wasn't quick enough. And as I fled, they shouted from the battlements that I should come and warn you.
The soldiers the boy didn't recognize. They could be those Cumans of Sigismund's. It said they came to Hungary from the east, and now they're the core of his army. Sacking Gutenberg must have given him a taste for stolen silver.
Skalitz is a small castle, sir. If Sigismund attacks, they can't hold.
Indeed, Sir Robard. And our small garrison would be no help, even if we could risk sending them.
You think we're next in line?
Maybe. What's your name, boy?
I'm Henry, son of the Skalitz blacksmith.
I know him. Did he make it inside the castle? I'm sorry. It's in God's hands now. No one else can help us. Anyway, thank you for risking your neck to warn us. Robard, take care of Henry. Make sure he gets something to eat and some rest.
Yes, sir.
And get all the people inside the gates. We have to prepare for the worst. Make all the necessary arrangements.
As you command, sir.
What about the mill? Has he paid his debt?
Not entirely, sir. He brought just over half yesterday.
Sucker. That's not what we agreed. When you've got a moment, go and see him, and tell him to come here without delay. I want to have a word with him.
I'll do that.
I'll knock the dust out of his apron. The scoundrel.
You fled from Skalitz. How did you manage that? How rude.
You've done well, lad. I'm sorry for your loss. You must be all done in. Why don't you go to the kitchen and have a good meal? Sorrow is easier to bear on a full stomach.
I have to eat something. My insides are shriveled up with the hunger.
They say he was a swordsmith who moved to the countryside to make horseshoes. I can't understand why he'd waste his talents, but I'm sure he had his reasons. He had a fine reputation. It's a great loss.
Milady. You are fortunate our good lady Stephanie of Talmberg has graced us with her presence.
My lady, I'm honored.
So this is our brave young man. Welcome, lad. Bozhena here will take care of you. No doubt you're tired and hungry.
Indeed. How could he not be, poor soul? After everything he's been through, he must be as hungry as a bear. Aren't you, young master? Here you are, then. Eat your fill.
And a little wine to wash it down.
Thank you, my lady.
When you're done, you can go and rest with the grooms in the Outer Bailey.
No, that won't do, Sir Robard. After all he's been through, he deserves a proper bed. Let him sleep in a lodge in the courtyard.
Certainly, milady. Young Henry here is overwhelmed by your generosity.
Yes, yes. Thank you, my lady. May God reward you for your kindness.
Eat up now. You're in capable hands, so I'll leave you to it. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, man.
When you've done, you can sleep in the bedchamber of the courtyard lodge. And don't forget to take off those filthy boots before getting into bed.
Oh. Something
I'm sorry about what happened to you.
eat.
There's no excuse for rudeness.
What?
Sigismund's army appeared out of nowhere. There were so many of them, not just infantry, but cavalry, too. Those foreign mercenaries with their strange helmets and the souls of beasts.
Heavens above!
They began murdering. They cut down anyone who didn't flee to the castle and destroyed everything in their path. The terrible cries of the wounded and the dying, I'll never forget it. It was only by some miracle I managed to take one of their horses and ride here.
How terrible. All the saints in heaven must have been watching over you to keep you alive. But you're safe here now.
This bed is probably taken. I'm supposed to go and sleep in the chamber.
Look out!
Someone there.
Watch it.
I hear you came from Scal.
I can tell you what happened, but I don't understand why. We were just going about our usual business when the soldiers came and began their slaughter. Anyone who couldn't flee to the castle was cut down. They destroyed everything. It's a miracle I escaped with my life.
God be with you.
Sir Robard, where's that chamber you said I could sleep in?
Good God, lad. Don't you listen to what anyone tells you? It's in the lodge in the courtyard.
Thank you, sir. Sir Robart, where's that chamber you said I could sleep in?
Good God, lad. Don't you listen to what anyone tells you? It's in the lodge in the courtyard.
Thank you, sir.
God be with you.
This bed is probably taken. I'm supposed to go and sleep in the chamber. This bed is probably taken. I'm supposed to go and sleep in the chamber.
Damn.
Don't you start. Oh well, I wouldn't mind a bite to eat, actually.
Today the patrols will be doubled. Keep your eyes peeled. If you see anything out of the ordinary, report it immediately. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
It is I, Henry. Forgive the intrusion. I didn't wake you, boy, did I?
My lady, no, not at all. But what brings you here at this hour?
I thought you could do with a little wine. It's just what you need to help you sleep.
My lady, thank you. You really shouldn't. You could have sent a servant.
I was going to. But to tell you the truth, I couldn't sleep either. I thought of you while saying my prayers. How awful it must have been for you. I came to offer you solace, to let you know you're not alone.
Thank you. Thank you kindly.
You're welcome. Now, Henry, I know this is all very new and strange for you. But I want you to feel at home here. You're not to worry about anything except getting better. God knows you've been through a terrible ordeal. I know what it is to be left alone in the world, although your loss is much greater. But with God's help, the pain will ease in time. And it can help to talk about it, if you feel like it.
You might be right, my lady. I'll tell you what happened. It was terrible and unexpected. The day started just like any other. Father sent me into town on some errands. I met my friends right next to the Skalitz alehouse. When we heard Deutsch praising Sigismund, our blood boiled. My mates decided to teach that fool to mind his tongue, so, thanks to us, Deutsch had to scrape horse shit off his newly whitewashed house.
How foul.
When I'd done all the errands, I headed back home. I promised Father I'd help him with his work, and I was looking forward to it. He was forging a sword for Sir Radzig. The sword was taking shape when Sir Radzig himself came to have a look at it. He praised Father's work and said that with his smithing skills, he could easily make a living in Prague or Vienna.
You don't say.
But Sigismund's horde was already on the horizon, ready to attack the town. A horde of soldiers was amassed. Pennants flapped in the wind, the armour glinted in the sunlight, and the horses whinnied impatiently. They were waiting for Sigismund to give the command to attack.
How awful.
And then death descended on Skalitz.
Father told me to take shelter in the castle while he went to get Mother. She was stranded in the town, surrounded by Sigismund's butchers. And then I saw him knocking down one Cuman after another, and never saw him fight like that. But then the leader of Sigismund's raiding party, a knight in full armour, saw Father and charged at him. He cut down my father without a thought. And then he turned on my mother, and he murdered her in cold blood.
You poor boy. May the Lord have mercy on their souls.
I ran to the castle like our neighbours to take cover, but I didn't make it. I had to find another way to save myself. The men on the battlements called down to me to flee to Talmberg and warn you. I was lucky I knew a concealed path around the castle. I wasn't safe yet. The Cumans were going from house to house below the castle, looting and then torching them. They encircled the castle, and it was clear they could spot me at any moment.
May God punish them.
Then I heard a scream. It was Teresa, the mill wench. She'd been caught by a gang of Cuman savages who planned to violate her. I wanted to help her. God knows I wanted to, but... Even though I had the sword we made for Sir Radzig, they had me outnumbered and they were well armed too. I only just managed to grab one of their horses and ride off. I couldn't help her any more than I could have helped my parents.
It wasn't your fault.
I'll never forget the horror. It will haunt me for the rest of my life.
That's terrible. How could something like that happen?
God alone knows why he lets such things happen.
Oh, you poor boy. I understand your grief, but God is not to blame for the